So we got here Rusty Knife Lover. Rusty, I definitely want you here because we definitely need your knowledge of blade steels. Actually, Scab is going to be joining us pretty soon. I just got off the phone with him not so long ago. Eric will probably touch upon maybe also some sword steels. I'll wait for a couple more people to get into the room. Hey, Tina. How are you, Tina? Thanks for coming in again for a second night in a row. Last night was a colossal fail. Like the live kind of crashed on me, or it might crash on me. I didn't even end up posting it because it wasn't that good. So I figured I'll give it a shot tonight with a different topic. What's up, John Peters? JP, Garen's in the house. Pete's in the house. Tina's in the house. Garen's and everybody's in the house. Scab should be joining us pretty soon. Tina, you just shared it on Discord. Thanks. Thank you, sweetie. Appreciate that. Thank you. You're always good to like kind of share our streams with the world. You're really good with that. Hello, JP. Because I want to try to get this topic in because we're doing a blade talk. Hey, Timbo. What's up, Timbo? What's up, Matt? How you doing, bud? I am so graced with all the presence of all these fine people in my chat room tonight. This is awesome. Scab posted a video, but video just before he started. Yeah, I know. He said he was uploading a review for Work Tough Gear, and he had something he was working on today. So he said it was uploading. I guess it's finished. If you guys want to leave me to go watch it, you can. You can come back. Or put it on your phone or something like that. Tina is the support behind the screens. Yes, you are, Tina. Yes, you are. You're the unsung hero of this sword and knife community there. Grugs. It's not a party without Grugs. It's not a party. It's not a chat room. It's not a party without Grugs. Timbo, what'd you do? Uploaded one of the Condor. Machine Bowie. Awesome. Got to take a look at that. Yeah, I got to catch up on a lot of videos after I'm done with this. Who else is coming in? I'm getting a packed house here. Garen, my damn internet is lagging. Yeah, internet is probably... I love New York because no matter where you go, you have ultra-fast internet. That's the one good thing about New York City. We demand ultra-fast internet no matter where we are. Wherever I move to after New York, I need to have 1 gigahertz transfer speeds in my internet speeds. I will not move into a slow internet area. I cannot deal with that. I give you guys credit for dealing with it. What else we got? All right, say hellos, everybody. Grugs is saying hello to everybody. I want to actually wait until Scab gets in so I could get started because he's kind of, I'm moderating this. This is all about you guys. This is all about you guys giving me input, well, giving us input, including Scab, because we're going to be doing a blade talk probably tomorrow, where we're going to be discussing blade steels and certain companies that are known for specializing in certain types of steels. So I wanted to get some feedback. It's all about you guys. I'm not really going to give much input. Some feedback from you guys once Scab gets into the room of different type of steels that you prefer, that you've had problems with, that you traits like basically edge retention, what basically your success stories and horror stories with certain types of steels that you've dealt with, things that you recommend, things that you don't recommend. Certain companies excel in working with different types of steels in terms of their heat tempering, and certain companies don't. So I would love to get your feedback on the topic of blade steels. And I don't want to stop there. I want to get, if I could get some of my katana people, my sword people I know Eric is lingering here. He'll be interested in this. I want to talk about also maybe some preferred steels for swords for katana, which would be great. So Pete said, I got nothing here to watch and learn today. Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. I want to learn from you guys today. In fact, I got to get my pen in front of me because I want to make some notes for some topics of conversation. So whatever we do on this in this chat room, I definitely want to bring it into Blade Talk while I do it with Scab, and I want to get your feedback and bring that up, in our topic of conversation. So this is your time to kind of give me your feedback or maybe things that you want us to discuss and give us some of your stories. I think that'll be great. I just really want to wait for Scab to get into the room so we can kind of compare notes. JP, won't be long since. JP said, won't be long since at work. I missed the first half of that. Matt, me too, John. No, Matt, I'm sure you got some great input yourself, man. You're a big buck guy. Actually, we need, who do we need? We need Isaac. We need Isaac in here. I want him to talk about buck steel. I want him to talk about the steel. Here is Scab. Scab is in the room. Everybody say hello to Scab. What's up, Scabo? How you doing, bud? How did the video go today? I told everybody if they want to leave my chat room to go watch your video, they can, because we'll probably still be here. So, but I'm sure your video is not going anywhere either. Mikey, Cerebral Ballsy. Mikey's in the room. What's up, Mikey? Glad for you to join us, buddy. This is definitely something you want to, I definitely want to hear your feedback on, the big sharpenista that you are. Because we're talking about preferred blade steels today. It's all about you guys. It's all about your chats. I want to hear your input in terms of your blade steels. So what you guys got? Scab, Buck is 420C. Yes, and they're excellent at working with that type of steel. I know that I read up on 420C, and some people have bad things to say about it. It's not really good steel, but Buck seems to have it down packed, and they're making some really resilient, wonderful knives with that 420C. So it's not always about the steel, guys. It's about also the smith and the manufacturer that makes it. And if they're good at working with it, it's all about the freaking heat tempering, and that's true also with swords and katana. You could work with T10 steel. You could work with 1040 high carbon steel. And if you have someone who knows what they're doing, they can give you a 1040 steel blade and give you something wonderful with it. And that's not considered a very good steel. Then vice versa, you have somebody who can work on a T10 steel, which is considered a very good high carbon steel for a sword. And they might mock it up because they can't heat temper it. Mr. Mikey is in the room. Mikey, so glad you're here, buddy. Really am. All right, so Mikey's saying D2 cheap and can't be beat. There you go. D2 cheap and can't. D2 is great steel. I want to see a katana made out of D2 steel. I would love to see that. I don't know if it's Mikey or anybody. Can D2 steel be made into swords? Will it be too brittle? Is it more pronounced of a steel for EDCs rather than anything larger than maybe 9 inches or something like that? Is D2 steel not a good steel for long blades? I'm actually very curious if you guys know the answer to that. I know the answer to that, but I want to hear you guys tell me. Scab said there was a time when every night in the country was 420C and 1095, so those folks are misinformed. Got you there. Carl Ruger is in the room. What's up, Carl? How you doing, bud? What's up, you crazy rascals? That's Carl for you. Who's here? YouTube Punk is in the room. What's up, bud? What's up, my punk man? Buck, yes, Scab said it too. Buck is about is all about the heat treatment. It's all about the heat treatment. So what do you guys have? What do you guys say about your steels, about your EDCs? What do you want to highlight in terms of good or bad experiences with your steel? Grug said, never heard of a sword in D2 steel. There's a reason for it. Matt says D2 is super tough. Can't be heat treated too high though. Yes, it can't be. Whoever's the smith really needs to know how to work with D2 steel, and that's why I think it's too problematic to use D2 steel on a katana. Which I would wish if someone can really, if you could get a smith that can really is very good at working with D2 steel, if he's able to make it into like not even a katana, but maybe a waki or a tanto or something like that. I think that would be great. Mikey says D2 is tough steel. It all depends on the heat treat and the Rockwell hardness. Yeah, that's really what it all comes down to. Carl says D2 is about my favorite steel. Evolution Blade, Motohara has katana and D2. Oh, so they do. Yeah. The Motohara, yes. They do have, and they got to be good at what they do because, like I said, D2 can be problematic if you don't know how to work with it. But I'm sure the guys at Motohara Evolution Blades have it down packed. Carl, is your Evolution Blade D2? The one that you have? The bullet steels can be made into a sword. I would love to know if that's the case, yeah. Everybody say hello to Tina, the only lady in the room at the moment. We'd love to see Megatron in here. Where's Megatron? Unless the poor girl's still at work. Carl, I think your answer to the Motohara, it's a SKS3 or SK5, SKS3. Is that what you wrote for your blade? So Matt, got to go back to work. Have a great night. Well, Matt, have a good night, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your work. Work smart, not work. Don't work hard. Have a good night, buddy. Thanks for popping in, Matt. Everybody say goodbye to Matt. Hello there, my punk guy. Cheers, Matt. What's up, Jeff? Thanks for joining us, Jeff. I guess you made it after all. How you doing, buddy? Always good to see you here, buddy. My buddy Jeff from Texas. I gotta get to Texas. I got my nephew there, and I gotta find a way to crash his house one day. I don't know how far you are away from him, but I gotta find out. I know Texas is pretty big. It'll probably take me 3 hours to get to you where you live, Jeff. Rusty, what do you got? Different steels excel for different purposes. It's a balance between hardness, toughness, ease of sharpening, and stainless. Yes, and there are certain steels that do demonstrate all of those qualities, and those are going to be some of the most expensive EDCs on the market, and that's why cold steel. The SV35s are the more expensive models, but they ended up like if you look at my my Voyager XL, okay, it's an AUS 10A steel. Now, if this had to be S35 with the size, with the amount of steel in this blade, this would probably be like a $400 knife. But they kept the prices down. AUS 10A steel is very good steel, guys. It's made in China, but doesn't make it bad. It's a very, very good steel. Okay, I have no problems with it. It holds an incredibly good edge, very easy to sharpen, very tough. Okay, and combine it with the Triad lock. I mean, it makes it for a very affordable option using the AUS 10A steel, the AUS steel. Because if I had to put the steel from the AD10 on here, like an SV35, this will make it a very, very expensive knife, an unnecessarily expensive knife. But this is D2 steel. This is my Boker I showed you last night. This is D2. I don't know if you could see it there. That's D2 steel. You know, and I actually love this knife. This is a very, very good knife. All right, so who do we have in the room? Megatron is in the room. Hello, Meg. Welcome. We have two babes of the blades in the house now. Donovan, too. Donovan, you're in, my friend. Donovan, outstanding, my friend. Outstanding you are. Master Donovan is in the room. Now our chat room is not okay. It is outstanding. Love you, brother. Glad to see you here. Timbo. All right, what do we got? Thing about T2, outstanding steel for small run batches where you can control the heat treat, but to nail it and get max potential from the steel, it only has a 50-degree temp window. Timbo, that's why you're in the room, buddy, because you're giving us knowledge that we didn't know. I've heard something similar to what you're saying in terms of D2 steel and being difficult, a little bit more difficult to work with. But again, if you have someone that knows how to work with it and knows the temperatures to heat the steel and when to cut it off, it's really a resilient, fantastic steel. And I really would love to see a lot more longer blades and possibly buoys made out of D2 steel. So I think the consensus is D2 here so far, guys. I think D2 is everybody's favorite right now. Doesn't seem like anybody's mentioning anything else, unless I missed something here. Scott Kane has videos of him cutting with his D2 Multahara, I believe you said. I would love to actually see that. Yeah, I really would love to see a Multahara D2 sword from Multahara. I would love to own one, even better. But seeing on YouTube wouldn't be too bad, at least for now. Megatron, Babes of the Blade. Babes of the Blade. Coined by Miss Tina. Babes of the Blade. That's what you are. CPM3V is fantastic. That's got a nice combination of everything that you guys are talking about. Edge retention, toughness, okay, easy to sharpen. It's just an all-around really good steel. Now, I mean, I'm going to go in depth with these guys. I have a couple of things printed out from a couple of different reputable companies, and they give you properties and they give you purposes for certain type of steels, the best steels for EDCs, what steels are made out of, talk about tool steels and chromium. To be honest with you, what I read today, actually, the strongest steel out there, the strongest type of steel out there that actually even resists scratching is tungsten steel. But I could imagine it's got to be very expensive to have something made out of purely tungsten steel, or at least a large portion of it. I love CM154. All right, so Scab, give me some examples of something you have on CM154. Is that the new steel that you've been testing out with your Work Tough Gear knives? Donovan, CM154 will be freaking scary sharp. Yes. So I've heard. But I'm curious if Scab has anything anything that we've seen from CPM 154. I'm digging the K134. Guys, there's so many different steels out there. Everybody's throwing out all these numbers. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard of K134. But there's so many different, like I just got a Civivi knife that I'm going to be reviewing, and it has a specific type of steel that I've never seen on any other knife before, or any knives that I basically read about. And there's so many different types of variations of steel. It's incredible. Timbo, tungsten carbide is insane stuff. It's hard to work with and burns through belts like crazy. I can imagine, but it is, if you could get something made out of tungsten, guys, I mean, that's got to be the best type of steel that, in terms of toughness, edge retention. I don't know how it is to sharpen. It's probably going to be a bitch to sharpen, but once you get that thing sharp, that thing will stay sharp and be tough for a very, very long time. Tungsten steel is insanely tough. Or even if they can make a combination of adding some tungsten into the steel would be fantastic. I mean, listen, guys, the steel, and I'll discuss this tomorrow, steel is something that's man-made. It's not natural, okay? The term steel is a man-made product. It's not a natural, it's not on a periodical table of elements, okay? Steel is not there. Iron is natural. Iron is at the core of all steels. Steel is something that, you know, we're mixing up cobalt, magnesium, nickel, tungsten, vanadium. I'm saying everything wrong. Vanadium. Okay, we're mixing all these things together at different temperatures, at different volumes to come up with certain types of steels that are good at certain things. So this is everything is man-made. So we're kind of all experimenting and coming out with all these new numbers of steels, and some of them are not. Some of them are well tested, and some of them are not. Bark River lesion is in CPM 154. Bark River works with CPM 154, Timbo, I understand. Yes. T many steels. Okay. Yeah, it's an old steel. Still recording here. Dan from Blind Owl Bushcraft and Survival. Welcome, my friend. Welcome from the Philippines. How are you, my friend? Always welcome in my chat room. Glad that you can join us. I know this is a good time for you. Tungsten is not steel, brother. It's not. It's not initially steel. It's a man. Yeah, that's why I said it's a man-made product. It's something that's man-made that they're making into blades. You know, all any type of steel that we have in our knives is a man-made product. Okay, it's not. It's a variation of different types of elements that, you know, we call steel. Okay, but nothing that we use in our knives is naturally iron. Okay, it's everything's a man-made mix of a couple different things. But they do add tungsten into a mix of iron to give it that resilience. Meg said, Tina, you are officially one of the wives behind the knives, by the way. Yeah, so tungsten basically it's added to steel to increase the wear resistance. That's what it's for. But when they put tungsten into a steel, it just makes it a lot stronger. It's not tungsten on its own. It's tungsten mixed into different elements. I think 8:45. 8:45 a.m. in the Philippines right now for Dan. All right, so we're catching you in the morning. Hopefully you got your morning coffee next to you there, Dan. CPM 154 is good for knives. Kershaw launch 8 takes a crazy sharp edge. So CPM 154 is a knife that we want to discuss. Keep on conversing, guys. I want to get a pen in front of me. All right, so our popular choices right now seems like it's CPM 154, D2. Everybody's a big fan of D2. And all the norms in terms of the, we got the OS. Yeah, I have CPM 154 here on my chart. Then there's the S30 steels, S60 steels, S90 steels. Actually, for my sword guys, some great steel that you don't find on swords is W2 steel. Is actually a fantastic steel for swords. Actually, Walter Soros works with W2 steel. Specifically works with W2 steel. He loves W2 steel on his when he produces his katana. What else we got? Let me catch up on whatever you guys are saying. Everyone stay safe and stay strong. Hashtag 22 a day. Guys, yes, never forget our vets. Okay? We have to always mention hashtag 22 a day, growing awareness for our vets and veteran suicide. 22 a day is too much, guys. We can only grow awareness for that. Vets, you have a place here, and stay strong and keep on fighting the good fight, please. I'll put a number on this video when it posts for a number that can help you out. But if you are a vet, you are welcome here. Dan says, I have a Cold Steel CPM 3V. Seems very nice. That's one of their steels of choice, it seems like, yeah. So Dan said, what is the best knife steel? That's such a hard question to answer. There's many different knife steels that can be considered the best. It's different steels for different applications. You have your choppers, you have your EDCs, you have your everyday duty knives. It all depends on really the price category you're looking at. I mean, if you're looking to spend at a certain price category, there's certain steels that are always going to be in that price category. And if you go with your higher EDCs, I mean, they're made with certain types of steels that are a lot more resilient. So I don't know if there's any really good best steel. I mean, but that's something we're going to discuss on Blade Talk with Scab. Timbo said, if they put tungsten into a steel, it is a steel, but tungsten carbide has no iron, in which is why it's not classified steel. Yes, no, I never meant to say that tungsten is a steel. I meant to say tungsten made into a steel makes the mix, makes the whole mix a very resilient type of material. I didn't mean that tungsten itself is a steel. None of this stuff is a steel on its own. Steel, again, is man-made. Okay, steel is a man-made article. Okay, piece of material. Okay, iron is the only natural substance in the mix. By the way, anybody that's in the east, how's the weather by you there right now? It's like we're getting hit with the tropical depression here. I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of wind, a lot of rain. It's craziness going on here right now. Actually, it's starting to calm down. But when I first started the chat, rain was belting against the house with the wind. It was crazy. Anybody in the east getting problems? How's it in Buffalo right now, Eric, with the weather? Donovan, thanks for joining us, buddy. Have a great night. Thanks for popping in, my friend. Outstanding, Donovan. Outstanding. Knife Steel Nerds literally wrote the book about it. Yes, there's Knife Steel Nerds out there that wrote the book about a lot of things. Yeah, Don is leaving. Who else is in the room? Lauren, how are you, Lauren? Thanks for joining us. So we got 3 babes of the blades in the room. We have 3 ladies in the room. I'm glad you guys joined because there's a lot of testosterone brewing in here. So we need something to break it up a little bit. Timbo said, "You're right, Joe. If you add tungsten to a steel mixture, it's still steel." Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Everybody kind of jumped down my throat and say tungsten is not a steel. I know tungsten on its own is not a steel. Tungsten is mixed into steel to make it an extremely strong material to work with in a knife. But tungsten is also hard to work with. Carl is the Miller 154. Main fought. Yes, okay, everybody, yes. Lauren is actually Mikey's wife behind the knife here. Yes, if everybody didn't know, that's who Lauren is. So welcome, Lauren. Glad to see you here. So are you guys on 2 separate computers right now or on 2 different places? You got out of the shower. Let me know if you're here. I can't remember. Carl said he had too many punches to the head, being a boxer as he is. Jeff said, going for some enchiladas. Oh, I would be loving to join you right now, Jeff, for some enchiladas. I love my Mexican. I got some good Mexican haunts around here that I frequent very often. And I hear the Mexican food in Texas is very good, too. Timbo says I have knives in a ton of different steels. Yeah, and so what do you find, Timbo, has been your favorite or your favorites, and for what reason? And what steels would you want to stay away from, Timbo? I would love to hear that from you, being that you have so many knives with so many different steels. Meg said, I love the video you guys did the other day. You spicy green pepper. I don't know who you were talking to about, Meg. Oh, probably about Mikey. Okay, yeah. Rusty said, to be a steel, it has to have iron. Tungsten carbide has an iron, hence not a steel. Right, right. To be a steel, it has to have iron. The core of every steel, of everything in this paper here, okay, everything here, the core is iron. That is the only natural, real natural from the earth substance in our knives, okay? As long as it has iron in it, it can be considered a steel. What they mix in it, in terms of its resilience, its toughness, or its softness, is what classifies it as good or bad. Samurai Bird, how are you, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Am I coming in clear to you? Everybody's good? Bird, we're talking about steels. You can join in if you want to talk about your type of steels, which actually I think you did. How's it going, Joe? T10 and 1095 laminated. That's for me. Yeah, I have a personal preference with T10 and 1095. I think personally for me, I love T10. I'll take some spring steels here and there. I love some of the spring steels that Hanway uses, especially in like the Practical XL lines. I think it's 1566, and that is just an incredibly strong ass steel. I mean, it has a little spring in it, but it's so resilient. So, but that they just happen to work with that steel so incredibly well. I mean, it's all about the forge and it's all about the smith. That's what it always comes down to. But initially, yeah, I do gear towards T10 and 1095 from my sword steels, and sometimes some spring steel, depending on the manufacturer. Kong, what's up, bud? You got the notification. I'm glad you got the notification this time. Very good. I guess the bell is working. We've been on for about 35 minutes so far. So Mikey said we got a tornado today in the area. Really? Are you guys okay? Any damage in the area, Mikey? I hope everybody's cool. Yeah, because they said there's been a lot of tornado warnings, because you're in Jersey, Mikey. I'm not too far from you. They had said there was some tornado warnings coming in to New York, New Jersey states. So I hope everything is. Hope you guys are all okay. I think we have to hit 1K before it lets us. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can't do until you hit 1K, Lauren. I'm feeling that all the time. Believe me, I know. Mikey, yeah, I know you're there in Jersey. I know. Can swords be made of CPM3V? I've never heard of it. Carl, Eric, you guys ever heard of anything? Any swords being made of CPM3V? I personally have never heard of it, but that might not be something that you're going to find in the Chinese forges with them working with that type of steel for swords. It might be CPM3V. I don't think is good for anything longer than about a 7-inch blade. I think it's going to be too brittle. It's not going to hold up on a sword. But that's just my opinion. If you guys know about that, please chime in. I would love a katana in 3V. I would too if they do it right. Yeah, I would love a lot of the steels that we're using on our EDCs. If they can find a way to make them up into swords, I think that'll be fantastic. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Steel must have two basic ingredients, iron and carbon. Absolutely right, Karen. Iron and carbon. Without a doubt. And there's a lot of other things they can throw in to increase the resilience and everything else about it. A sword in 3V would cost way too much. I think you're absolutely right. A sword in 3V would cost way too much. Like a sword in D2 would cost way too much. And that's why Motohara Evolution Blades, which is a very expensive sword brand, is able to sell a D2 steel blade, because they're charging thousands of dollars for their swords. But I don't think you'll see D2 being made in the normal production line. It's just too expensive to work with. Scab just said, and this is a message to everybody in the room, Scab is going to make up a community post. Check out his site to ask everyone to list their top 3 steals so that we can discuss it tomorrow on Blade Talk. You got that? So answer Choir Boys Cutlery, Scab's community post that he's going to be posting either now or tonight about your 3 favorite steals that you like and maybe why or not. And we'll bring up a poll. We'll list them. If everybody can contribute, it'd be great because we'll make up a poll as far as, votes as far as, this particular steel came up on everybody's choice, or this is the least chosen steel. But I would love that cooperation from you guys, or contributions rather, with that. So check out Scab's community posts and try to post something up there so we can take a look at it tomorrow morning or tonight. Mikey said, is Buck 1 N19 420 HC? I believe that's what it is. Yes, I think that was mentioned in the chat room, Mikey. Albion Sons welding. I'm sorry. Welcome, guys. How you doing, buddy? 1095 or 9260 spring steel for swords. 1095 is just, it's a harder steel. 9260 spring steel is just it'll take a bend. It's good for the unexperienced cutter or the guy who just basically wants to have more of a reliable steel that if he does have a bad cut, it'll take a bend and go back to normal. But both are very, very good steels for katana. 9260 and 1095 are very, very good steels for different reasons and different purposes. What else we got? Dan, you are dreaming of 1K2. Dan, but you have your brother that also has a site that's Blind Owl Survival that has a lot of subs. He's got about 50,000 subs. Now, explain something to me, Dan. Do you have like a family of YouTube channels that you all pull out? Because I know you have posted at times on your brother's YouTube channel. I know he has a 50,000 plus subscribers. He's got a really amazing following there. So I know you're not too shabby. You're about 600, I think. But do you guys like kind of share your YouTube channels? I'm actually very curious. I've been wanting to ask you that. I'm glad that we can do that right here. If you don't mind answering it, of course. Yeah, we got to get Wyatt in the room, Grugs. I would love to get someone who actually works with steels to get his input of what his favorite steels are, and maybe he can. I would love for him to answer in Scab's community post what his 3 favorite steels. Eric said T10 is pretty much 1095. It is. It's a variation of it. T10 is pretty much 1095. You're right. I mean, they're very similar with extra tungsten. Right. From what I understand, heard it referred to as Chinese 1095. You're right. 1095 and T10 are very, very similar. 1060 is good if you're on a fixed budget. Yes, 1060 steel, 1060 high carbon steel is actually a very good steel. Okay, it is more of a budget steel, but 1060 is actually a steel that most forges in China are very good at working with. They're very good at working with 1060 steel. And since they are so good at working with it, it actually ends up being a very strong, very resilient type of steel. And it is, more affordable than the 1095s or the T10s or anything of that nature. But yeah, 1060 is very good. 1095 is my favorite steel for swords. Yeah, for me. All right, so see that, guys? Emergency alert. So I have National Weather Service. A flash flood warning is in effect for this area. This is a dangerous and life-threatening situation. Do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area subject to flooding or under evacuation. So emergency alert severe in my area right now. I was talking about the bad weather we're having in the east right now. So there you go. Mr. Oni Shinobi, welcome, my friend. Thank you for joining our chat. He had said you should do a video where us viewers send in our collections of swords. I don't know what you mean by that, by send in your collection of swords in terms of letting us know in type, in with pictures. Dan and a channel. Okay, so I know Dan responded to me. Months blind out outdoors. I know Dan. Let me actually go back to Dan. I know he probably responded to me because I asked him about his YouTube channels. Let me see if I can find that here. Okay, blind out outdoors is you. Okay, got it. Actually, I mean, I thought that was your brother that held that channel. Okay, so Blind Owl Bushcraft and Survival is 59,000 subs. Well done. That's Blind Owl Bushcraft and Survival, 59,000 subs. I get confused a little bit sometimes because they're very similar. So it's all you, Dan. So that's excellent. I mean, Dan, listen, round of applause, buddy. That's a great achievement. I mean, to have that many subs. Listen, you're a workhorse, man. I mean, you are a content machine out there, and you got so much content that you could work with in the Philippines. I mean, being in the middle of a jungle there. I mean, I would love to be able to spend a day with you there. I would kind of knock out videos like a madman. But that's fantastic. Jackal, mystery tricks, different. Yes, JP is in the room. Call saying hello. JP, no line, long time no talk. Yeah, JP, I'm glad to see you here, bud. And the channel Cooking with Mary Rife. I can't read that word. They are all connected with my first channel, Blind Out Outdoors. So you have a system of channels, even a cooking channel. That's fantastic, Dan. It really is. You got a lot of stuff going on there. California is burning. Yeah, I feel bad for you guys. I don't know what the hell's going on there. I don't know how to do with the climate. I don't know what's going on. Dan is basically saying I only earned about $99, so I couldn't even get paid this month. Yeah, I had a discussion like that with Scab today. I mean, it's not all, unicorns and rainbows when you're basically monetizing with YouTube. You're not making that much. It's just a matter of just getting there. But, it's always good to make something and not make something, I guess. But listen, YouTube is always going to be having the lion's share of what all the work that we put into these videos. YouTube is always going to have the lion's share of the profits. But that's without saying. I'm sure you guys all know that. Okay. Kong, what do you got? The site with the budget katana is called True Katana. They use T10 and 1060 besides other steel. D-Bed did a review on one of their swords. Yes, the sword that he reviewed was not a T10 steel. It was a 159 price sword. It was I believe it was a magnesium steel or something like that, which I have my opinion, good and bad about that. But that wasn't a T10 steel. I would love to actually see how True Katana, how their T10 blades are, and they're pretty much priced like everyone else. They're in like the $200-300 range, so I would say they're probably pretty good quality. If they're priced at around that price, that range there. So I would love to see. Actually, I would love to experiment with True Katana to see how their T10s work and how they're built. Call Blind Out Outdoors is 59,000 subs. Yes, I get them very confused. It's Blind Out Outdoors. I know one of them was 59,000 subs, not Blind Out Bushcraft, right? Because that's where I watch Dan all the time, right? We're all doing great, JP. And we're doing better because you're in the room, bud. Kong, there are some alloys I never have heard of. Brother, let me tell you, I look at some knives sometimes, and like I said, I have a Civivi that I'm going to review, and it has a specific steel that I really never heard of before. And they're always like popping out all these different steels that I've never heard of. I mean, I know there are a variation of steels that we know. They're just kind of numbered differently, or I don't know. They're always coming out with new stuff. It's really hard to keep up. I mean, honestly, the blade talk that we do tomorrow is not going to be a one and done. It's going to be an open discussion. We're going to bring up a couple of things, but it's not going to be an end result at the end of the video. We're just going to talk about certain steels and move on from there and follow up with it, many different times after that. Eric said, not a huge fan of Ronin Katana, but whatever forge they use have 1060 down. Yes, exactly what my point was. And Ronin is one of them. They have 1060 down packed in terms of they're very good at working with 1060 hard carbon steel. Some Ronin Dojo Pros are very resilient. I mean, their Datanuki blades, their Dojo Pros are very resilient, beautiful blades. I mean, some of the there's some fit and finish issues, but their steel, from what I've seen, are pretty damn strong. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, those are 1060. You can correct me on that, Eric. So Mr. Oni Shinobi says, I haven't seen a lot of videos on true katana, so that'd be interesting. Yeah, I'm going to look into it. I want to look into a true katana that's built more traditionally, the way I would like to see a katana to be, with a steel that I would like to see on a katana, and with the hamon and the whole traditional element and the whole 9 yards. And I would like to review something from True Katana, and I think I'm gonna probably start doing the legwork on that. Thanks for mentioning that, Shinobi. So Dan said, my brother Doug has a channel, Mr. Doug Drones on. Okay, that's interesting. I gotta look that up. Send me the link if you can. I would love to look that up. I'm always into drones. I use drones with my work, my cinema work all the time. We're always using drone shots and drone footage. I love drones, especially in my line of work. It works really well. Shinwa swords just junk. I would say, yeah, get budget swords in. Nothing special. Timbo says, I know a lot of steels, but I damn sure don't know them all. There are so many of them, it's impossible to keep up with them all. That's exactly my point. It's impossible to keep up with them all. We'll attempt to talk about steels tomorrow on Blade Talk, but it's definitely not going to be an end of a discussion. We'll just kind of scratch the surface a little bit in maybe our personal experience with certain steels that we work with, but there's so many different steels out there. Very hard to keep up. Blind Out Bushcraft. So Dan says, I have a Blind Outdoors. One of the videos he has on Blind Outdoors is over 8 million views. That's outrageous. And several others have 1 million and have been doing videos for 7 years now. I have 6,000 vids on Blind Outdoors. That's an incredible accomplishment. I really applaud you on that. Like I said, bro, you're a content creating machine. I admire you for spending the time to get that done. It's a big accomplishment. Yeah, there's been a lot of regulations they set for YouTube about 2 years ago that kind of screwed people over in terms of monetizing the right way on YouTube, and I think that happened about a year, 2 years ago. I heard the same thing. MC is in the room. MC, I am actually going to go back to all your comments, and I want to put down a list of all the names that you have for me, my friend, and I love them all. You're awesome, dude. How you doing, MC? How's your night going? Thanks for joining us, my friend. Miss Tina, you're leaving the room. Rest well, Tina. Thank you for joining us, darling. I really, really appreciate your support and you coming in and all the stuff that Tina does behind the scenes. You guys don't know about. She does so much behind the scenes for this community, and we all really, really, really appreciate it, Tina. Thank you. Dan says, I put up 6 videos per day. I don't know how you do it. That's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, listen, I put a lot of work into the cinematic element of my videos, so they take me just all day to do one video. But I understand how you can push out the 6 videos. But it's for me personally, I can't see myself putting out more than 1 or 2 a day on a good day. That's tough to do. 6 videos a day is tough. Samurai Bird, I have a Ronin Katana 1045, which is impressive for a light cutter. Yes, it is. The Ronin 1045s are good. It's actually, they call it a beater katana. The 1045 Ronin, I forget exactly what models those are, but the Ronin Katana 1045 is made very well. It is definitely a beater sword, and it's not that expensive. I wouldn't cut anything very hard or aggressive with the 1045 from Ronin, but It's definitely a good bottle cutter, pool noodles, things like that. It's something you could definitely have fun with without having to worry. But I've seen destruction tests with the 1045. Hold on, my light is a little too bright. Hold on. I've seen destruction tests with the Ronin 1045 bird from Matthew Jensen, and he's put it through its paces, and it's pretty strong. It's held up. Eric said those Datanuki Ronin blades are indeed 1060. Yes, that's what I thought. They are 1060s. Those are tough ass blades. I wouldn't speak so highly about their fit and finish, but I'm pretty sure the blades are done very well, especially because they're Datanuki. I'm expecting a Huawei Datanuki blade whenever the hell it's done. I mean, guys, has you got my sword people? I have a question. How long is what does the wait time have been with Huawei swords, Huawei swords, in terms of their from order to receive? Well, I've heard people have been saying they're up to about a year, having people wait for a year for a sword. Do you guys know anything about that? Because I'm going on probably about 6 months now, waiting for my Datanuki sword from Huawei, and I expected this long, but I hope it doesn't end up being a year. If you guys have any input on that, I would love to know about that. Yeah, Dan put so many videos out; it's so hard to keep up. I mean, I think I sometimes I see Dan's posts, and there's like 4 videos in a row that are popping up one after the other. I'm lucky if I can just get to one by the time I get to the other ones. Good night, Tina. Anybody new in the room? Pete's still in the room. Everybody that started with us is still with us. Tina's leaving. I know Donovan left. Well, there is a okay. So Dan says it's his only source of income. So there is a testament to someone who's making a living, okay, with YouTube. I mean, it's not impossible. I mean, it's you got to put the legwork in. I guess if you're making a living with it, I guess you're able to put out 6 videos a day because that's your job. I mean, that's your job. But I gotta say, you're very creative and very. I mean, you got to be very creative to be able to put out that many videos too. I mean, you got to have a good mind in terms of what you need to do to be able to have that much content. I mean, you have the area that you could work in, which is excellent. But yeah, if you're doing that as a job, then I can imagine how you're putting out 6 videos a day. But that's great. I would love to make a living with YouTube, but not if I live in New York. 1060, 1045 would be tough, not hard. Right. You're right, Rusty. So Dan said, you guys sure have some nice swords. They look like art to me. They look like art to me too, Dan. I mean, I love my katana. I love katana specifically because I love the art behind them, the aesthetics, the historical importance behind them. There's many reasons why I love katana. Not because it's an able-bodied sword and you can have fun with them and you can cut with them, you can do things with them and they hold up. But just the whole artistic element always amazes me. I mean, I display, my katana all around my home, and I just love the artistic element of them. They're like I call it deadly art. It's deadly art. All right, so you guys have any more contributions with the with your blade steels, guys? So we heard a lot of. I made some notes as far as CPM 154, D2, and all the norms that we like in terms of katana steel. 1095 is amongst everyone's favorite blade steels, and you have some secondaries like 1060 and 1045 as being some good budget options, not as hard, but good budget options, but still can do the job. Any more input on steels, guys? I love how you guys are having all these conversations within the chat yourselves. It's fantastic. It really is. I respect you, Dan. I respect you for your comments as far as living for your means and, deciding to make YouTube a living and just living within means. I mean, it's, when you live within your means and you accept what you have, you're a happy person and you live a peaceful life. You really do. Eric said, Huawei times vary. I guess there's a delay, guys. because I think I asked that question a while ago. I wonder if there's a delay with the chat and what I'm speaking when you guys are getting it. But Eric said Huawei times vary, but I've had lots of horror stories of people having to wait upwards of a year for theirs. I've heard that too, and I'm afraid because I'm telling you, Eric, I'm in about 6 months now, and I'm afraid to call her because I'm hearing that Jackie, is it a he or a she? Nobody's sure if Jackie's a he or a she. Jackie she hasn't been annoyed at me emailing her, but I have heard that if you annoy Jackie too much and ask her too many times about the status of your sword, she'll cancel your order and send you a refund. So I'm afraid to freaking email her because I don't want my freaking order canceled after 6 months waiting already. So that would kind of suck. No, mine took 3 months. Carl, how are you getting your sword so damn quick? You got a Sky-Giro in a month. You're getting Huawei in 3 months. I mean, you got some pull that I don't know about, Carl. Because, send some your way, Give me some love here. How are you getting your swords and your Sky-Giro in a month, and now you're saying you got your Huawei in 3 months. I would love to know what pull you got going on, Carl. Send some my way, my friend. All right? So far, 6 months for Huawei and about 5 months for the freaking Sky-Giro. And I have no idea when the hell they're coming in. I wanted to get these videos out in the summer, so I'm probably looking at the winter time when I can't even go out and cut anymore. Damn it. Shit. Pete says, I'm out of my depth here. I'm out of my depth every day, man. Laminates and mahogany, too. I love laminated blades, Bird. I don't think they're the toughest things in the world, but they sure are the prettiest freaking steel blades you've ever seen. I'm actually going to have a project that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to order strictly a mahogany blade, possibly from one of the forges. I haven't decided which one yet. And then I'm going to send it out. So maybe like Josh at Cottontail Customs, and I'm going to have him just completely finish up, make up the saya, and make up all the furnishings around the steel. And that's going to be my next project that I'm going to be working on. Hopefully, hoping in the winter I'll probably stock that up. But I definitely want something that's supposedly mahogany made. At a cheaper price, of course. So Carl says, I know how to talk to folks to get what I want. I hear you, buddy. I hear you. But you got to be careful with Huawei, and you got to be careful how you talk to certain people because they'll cancel your order. Believe me, I'm from New York, bro. If I have to get on the phone and demand what I want, I will. But you know what? They have a right to they have the ability of canceling your order, and then you got nothing. To see, Garen says, I would like to see someone with a sword made of 5200 core, and 5160 in the outer layers. That would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. I don't think their forges specialize in working with that type of steel, though. 5160 maybe, but not 52100 tool steel. T10 is probably the only tool steel that they work with. Rusty said, Dan, have you considered memberships on your large channels and live chats? Do you have a membership on your large channels? Because you should start up a membership, even if it's like $1 a month. I think you'll probably help with some revenue there, or at least help with some expenses with the contributions, especially with 59,000 subs. You should be able to make some cash every month that you can use. Custom Huawei will take 6 months to a year. So the one that you got in 3 months wasn't a custom. I mean, I think the way Huawei works, Carl, I think all of their swords are made on demand. I don't think they really stock much. They don't really stock much. Like whatever you see on their site, it's one in, one out. I mean, I think they just kind of make it to order. So I think all their swords, I don't think they really do real customs anymore. But I think whatever you're picking from their site, they're producing as they get orders. I don't think that they're actually stocking these swords, because if that was the case, I should have gotten my sword a long time ago. They're probably producing it as I order it. Oh, the wind is really freaking howling out there, guys. It's belting against the house. Thanks, Dan. And some cut a lot better than others, of course, but thanks for the compliment. We all appreciate it. We appreciate you guys, you watching us too, Dan. We really do. When anxiety comes to the already annoying waiting game, I feel you. Yeah, it's anxiety of not being able to complain, thinking your order is going to be canceled, and then having to be forced to wait regardless and not being able to say a word. You got to kind of sit on your hands and just be patient. I mean, I have a wise sword friend in California that has been collecting and using katana for 40 years. And he has original Nihantos that are his treasures. And he's been collecting and buying katana for many, many, many years. And his answer to me is always, patience is a virtue in the sword market. And that is so true. Garen said, maybe you should get a sword made by KHI. I am going to be designing a sword for KHI. But it's not going to be specifically how KHI would make it. It's got to be something a little different, because it can't be too heavy and clunky. It's got to be nimble. So it's got to be a nice balance between strength and also performance. But yeah, I am planning on designing something for KHI. That's in the works. So Carl said, thanks, Dan. Cutting with a 3-foot razor blade takes complete seriousness and concentration, no doubt about it. It does. It really does. You know, it's not just like, cutting paper with a knife. It's when you're swinging something like that around, you need a lot of concentration. So Rusty said, I'm starting to work with Wyatt to make a knife. Good, good. I would love to see that. Yeah, Wyatt does a great job. Really good job. He's really come to his own. And listen, Wyatt is going to get better and better as the years go by, and as he gets more and more experience working with different steels and realizes different ways of doing things. He's becoming a very prominent knife maker. He's doing a great job. He's making Donovan very happy. He's making a lot of people really happy with his works, and I wish him so much luck. I mean, he doesn't need it. He's doing good on his own. Samurai Bird, Ryan's sword does it that way too. They don't make it till you order. And stock or custom makes no difference. Yeah, I think that's how Huawei works. That's the way Huawei works. That's how a lot of these companies work. They don't really stock their stuff. The only companies that really stock their stuff is like Hanwei. I mean, pretty much any swords you see on their sites, they have them in stock, and you get them within a week if they're in stock. You know, a lot of companies don't stock swords. And if they do a short supply, and then they have to keep on meeting up with demand and producing them. Which I don't mind. I like having my sword produced. I like waiting, knowing something is made to my order. Because I did ask for certain things from my Huawei sword. Like I wanted a completely full wrapped Suka, full wrap Samigawa. That was a very specific that I wanted that. I wanted a specific type of linked in my blade and linked in the scowl or the handle. So if you consider that custom, I guess then it's custom. But yeah, I'm about 6-7 months in with them right now. So Scab is back. Yeah, I'm here, buddy. I posted the community post. All right, so Scab posted in his community post, and if you guys do it now or after the chat, I'm not going to keep this on for much longer. I want to get Scab and I would love to get feedback from you for Blade Talk of your 3. Follow the the post that he put in, but I believe he had said. 3 of your favorite steels that you have experience with. We're going to basically see what everybody's preference is, make up a poll as far as everybody's favorites or least favorite, and we're going to try to discuss that on Blade Talk. So as soon as you can get that done, so we're able to kind of get all of your input on that, it would be fantastic. So check out Quiet Boys Cutlery community post. Scab actually just put it up. Dan said, I have a blast cutting bottles and slicing bamboo. Oh, you got so much bamboo. I am so jealous. Send some bamboo my way, man. I need some bamboo. I've been trying to get Eric 117 to send me bamboo since last year. He's always got some kind of excuse. Oh, it's not growing anymore, whatever. But I'm dying for some bamboo. Carl said, I have 3 Huawei's and each one took about 3 months to get. Not sure why. I don't know why. I don't know when I order them. I order and don't email them again till they contact me when it's ready to ship. Yeah, I'm not calling them anymore. I called them maybe twice. I am not calling them anymore. When they get in touch with me that's ready to ship, then I'll talk to them. Carl, I'm curious, Carl, very curious. Do they send you pictures of your katana before they ship them? Do they send you any images of the katana before they ship them out so you can see them? If you can answer that question for me, that would be great. I'm really curious about that. Garen said, how is the kukri use doing, Joe? I haven't used it much. I haven't had a chance to really. I actually want to go back and, before I really start using it more, I want to reprofile the edge and give it a more sharper edge, because my idea of sharp is not KHI's idea of sharp, unfortunately. Their idea of sharp is sharp, but my idea of sharp coming from the katana world, I definitely want a sharper edge. So I'm actually got to work on that, and I'm going to work on some other buoys from KHI before I actually do some testing on them. I want to reprofile them, get them a little sharper before I really do some more testing and videos on them. How's it going, Carl? Yeah, I try it not to bug them. I get pics of blades and finished swords. Bert, are you saying from Huawei company you getting pics of the blades and finished swords? Is that the company you're talking about? I missed the first half of what you were saying. Dan said, what is the ideal length for a sword blade? It depends what sword you're talking about, Dan. A typical wakizashi is 19 to 22 inches, and a typical katana is anywhere from 27 to 29 inches. Is actually on the long side. Then you have the Ko katana, which is around 26 inches. They all vary depending on which type of Japanese style sword you have, which is the ideal length. But there's no ideal length. There's different types of Asian swords, like a wakizashi, tanto, Ko katana, and what's the large katana? It escapes me right now. And a larger katana that has a much larger blade. So it's not even about an ideal length. It's an ideal length and an ideal sword for you that you like. But then there's European swords, which are 55 inches long. So it all depends on really what sword you're talking about. Well, yeah, Sino definitely sends you pictures of swords. Swords of North, before shipping, Sino Swords sends you pictures of your sword before they ship it, and also Swords of Northshire also sends you very extensive pictures of your sword before shipping. I would love to know if Huawei sends you pictures of the sword. If they don't, they don't. I mean, I guess, but I would like to see pictures of them before it's shipped, especially after waiting a freaking 7 months to a year for it. Yeah, JQ, yes, Birds. JQ and Ryan Sword, they give you pictures of the whole process, which is great. I appreciate that. That's why I love JQ, because at least they do that time, they spend that time to get you pictures of swords before they send them out. It's very good for the customer to be able to see their sword before it's shipped. I think every custom sword company should definitely do that. Garen says, I think there are species of bamboo that grow in New York. I haven't seen it. I would love to find it. I've done searches. I couldn't find anything unless it's called something specific that I don't know about. But if you can get me that info, it'd be great. I'll look it up. But I would love to get my hands on some bamboo or some kind of a bamboo type of plant that I can cut up. Because I got to tell you, tatami is freaking expensive, guys. It's getting more expensive. Dan says he has a cheap sword that he got in the 90s. He did some videos of slicing bamboo a while back. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun cutting stuff up with swords, especially bamboo. I'm dying to cut. I've never cut bamboo before, and I'm dying to. Call, I agree with you. Depends on your size and depends on the length of the sword. I mean, you may be a very short man, and maybe a katana is not good for you. Maybe a wakizashi is good for you, or maybe a ko katana, which is like a 26-inch blade, is good for you. So it all depends on your arm length and your height to see what sword length is ideal for you. Eric said, "Me too. Need bamboo. Any bamboo grown by you? I would love to know what this type of bamboo that Garen is talking about, of a bamboo species that's growing in New York. I would love to find it. Eric, if you want to take a ride with me, we'll go freaking fill up 2 cars with it. What do you say?" Bird says, "I can send you running bamboo." I would love bamboo. I want bamboo, Bird. If you can send me bamboo, I will gladly take bamboo, without a doubt. And every piece of bamboo I cut, I will say, "This is bird bamboo." I'll even write it on the effing bamboo, "Samurai Bird," on the bamboo. I'll prop you up if you send me some bamboo. I want bamboo, Bird. Absolutely. Garrett, I don't like the Naginatas. I'm not a big fan of them. I feel like it doesn't really, for me, it just doesn't have a place in. I don't know. I don't like the Naginatas. I mean, I get, they're pretty looking swords. I've owned one before. I'll probably pick up one day. I just never really had my eye on one that I really liked. If you guys have any recommendations of a Naginata sword from a manufacturer, I'll take a look at it. But I've never really found one that I really, really say I gotta have it or anything like that. Right on, Bird. Send it over, buddy. Like I said, I will take a Sharpie and I will write your name on each piece of bamboo that I cut. Blind Owl Bush can survive. The zoos grow bamboo sometimes when they get clean thing. You know what's funny? I go to the Bronx Zoo. Look here. Here's my cup. Bronx Zoo, Bronx, New York. I go to the Bronx Zoo and there's sections of the Bronx Zoo that is full of freaking bamboo plants. And I swear to God, I feel like bringing a buoy with me and cutting some up and taking some home with me. I swear to God. I look at all that bamboo in the Bronx Zoo, in their animal exhibits, and I want to freaking steal some. It's killing me. All right, Carl. Carl says he's got to take a shower and hit the rack. Got to get up pretty early for work. Carl, thank you, my friend, my brother. Thank you for joining us, Carl. I really appreciate your time, your wealth of knowledge, and your presence, Carl. Love you, brother. Thank you for joining us, and have a good sleep, pleasant evening, and enjoy your day at work tomorrow, if that makes any sense. Have a good day, bud. Thanks, Carl. Thank you very much, Carl. I would love to see you wield a Nodachi. Nodachi's a serious freaking weapon, man. Nodachi's a really serious weapon. I got to really break out of my mold, and I got to look for Nodachis and things like that. Some other Asian weapons. I just haven't had my fill of katana yet. But definitely Nodachis. I love Nodachi. I love the style of a Nodachi. It's a big thing to store, though. So Dan said you guys would go nuts for the bamboo here. About 200 yards from the house is a clump of broomstick bamboo that is 40 feet across with hundreds of stalks. Oh, that's outrageous. Do a video on that, bro. I want to see the bamboo that grows around. I'm sure you have, but I would love to see something recent on that. I want to see you cut up some bamboo. No, Garrett, I'm serious about the Naginata. I would love a Naginata. I think that's an incredible weapon. The Japanese claymore. Eventually, guys, I am going to get into European swords. I'm just not ready for it yet. I'm not ready for European yet. I haven't had my fill. When I start getting bored, I don't know if I ever get bored of katana, but when I start feeling like I want to try something different, then I will try to look into European swords. And there's so many beautiful ones. I have so much respect for the European sword market, especially here in the States. They do such an amazing job. They're beautiful, beautiful pieces of art, and they're very able-bodied weapons. I love them. But I'm not ready for European yet. Eric, what are you down for? I missed it. You said I'm down. Let's go. As far as finding bamboo. Pete, cheers, all. Cheers, buddy. Have a good night if you're leaving us, man. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for spending an hour plus with us here. Grugs, you're my boy you're my Long Island boy, man. I gotta get together with you. I want to see your Shiness, and I want to see some of your collection. We got to make a video out of it. I would say sometime in September when the kids get back into school and I got some more time in my hands during the day. I definitely want to make up a time when I can come by and see you, Grugs. Pete's got his doggy to walk. Got to walk your doggy. Your dog is the boss, not you. Bird says, I would love to make a naginata, interchange one of those blades with a 4-foot handle. You know, the original architecture of naginata is a unokubi zukuri, and that's where the unokubi zukuri katana came from the naginata sword. That's the tip of the naginata is a unokubi zukuri. That's exactly what it is, and that's where our unokubi zukuri swords come from. Daniel Lopez, Blind Samurai. Thanks for joining us, Dan. Have you been with us for a little while? It's the first time I've seen you here, but we've been on for about an hour and 24 minutes. I'm going to probably be closing this off pretty soon. Maurice said I would have been on earlier, Hula Hoop Joe. Another name for the books. Got to write it down. But I was watching Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. Oh, that's actually something pretty cool to watch. I've heard about that. Good old Mike. The Mayan and Aztec sword, Garen said. They look kind of cool, but not practical today. Yeah, a lot of swords are not practical. They look pretty damn cool. There's a lot of European swords that are not practical, but they're more collector's pieces. I mean, you know, I won't call myself a collector in terms of swords. I like to get a collection of swords to use and admire. I won't call myself a collector because I like to use them, and I like to make sure that they're able to be used. So if I'm picking something up just to look at and look pretty on my wall, and it's not practical to use, I'm just not into it right now. Dan, you just got here. We're not going to be on for too long, buddy, but thanks for joining us, Daniel Lopez. I really appreciate it, Danny. Always good to see you here in my chat, and thanks for coming in and chiming in. Who else is with us here, guys? I'm not going to be on for much longer. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Do we want to add in? I know we started this off on blade steels. We kind of drifted away into a lot of katana stuff, which I definitely appreciate, guys. I didn't think we would be touching upon anything katana related today or tonight. I do appreciate talking about swords. Absolutely. Try to bring up some sword steel up tomorrow in Blade Talk. Garen, what's M48? Makes a type of naginata. What is M48? I don't know what that is. Danny, when I were here ago, would have been at 5 p.m. I know next time to get in at 5. Yeah, I know you got a time difference. I know it's hard for you guys to join sometimes with the time zone differences and stuff. I tried to do like 8 o'clock. It's kind of like centrally a good time for like the East and the West and all that stuff. M48, okay, is what a brand? Is that what you meant? All right. All right, so anyway, guys, listen. Thanks for joining me here today. We've been on for about an hour and a half. I tried to not make these longer than an hour and 30 minutes. We're at an hour and 27 minutes. And see also all the chats that are going on the sides, which, guys, I really sincerely appreciate you guys joining me, contributing with all the blade steels. Please check out Choir Boys Cutlery and check out his post, his community post. And please try to list your 3 favorite steels because I would like to make up a poll and come up with some of your favorites. And I want to discuss that with Scab on Blade Talk that we're going to be shooting tomorrow. And hopefully I can get it out this week as well. So good night, everybody. Love you all. All my favorite people join me here tonight. Maurice, Rusty, Grugs, Albion Sons, Garen, Samurai Bird, Eric Hussein, Dan from Blind Owl Bushcraft, Daniel Lopez, Blind Samurai. If you guys are not subscribed to each other, guys, please sub to each other. We're all trying to grow. If you see someone that you know that you're not sub with, please go in and sub everyone's channel that's on my chat window here. You're all fantastic YouTubers, and I personally enjoy watching each and every one of you, and I appreciate your support that you give to me and joining my lives, which I'm going to try to be doing a little bit more often as well. I just want to read this here. Garen says, sold by Bud K. I'm not a big fan of Bud K, Bud. I don't like Bud K. I think that I don't have very good opinions of Bud K. But leaving you with that note, guys, it's all about quality. It's all about quality sometimes. And love you all. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to end this stream with a great note, guys. Thanks for all your contributions. You guys have a great night, a great day at work tomorrow, depending on your time zone. I appreciate you joining me. This is Joe from Steel Forge and Fire, Sword and Knife. Peace out, everybody. And please do not forget our veterans, hashtag 22 a day. If you see a veteran, be nice to them. Do something nice for them. Give them some encouragement. Let our veterans know that you are here for them, and there is a place for them here in our community. All right, we love you, vets. I love all of each and every one of you. Thanks for your contributions. Have a fantastic night. Thanks for joining me on the live stream. Hope you enjoyed it. I always do. Peace out, everybody. Good night. Thanks, guys. Ciao, ciao.